caution. Watch out for the snakes, alligators, and other reptiles. Good morning, everyone. Jeremy here. Just walking outside my apartment complex here in Central Florida. Beautiful day. Just wanted to walk over to the other side where there's a nice gazebo over here. Check out these ducks. They're so different looking. We got normal looking ducks here in Florida, but we've got these, oh wow, nice. We got some fresh ducklings, looks like, over here, which is good to see because I hate to say, I don't think the last ones made it. But we don't want to talk about that. That's sad. That's sad stuff. But anyway, just been working a lot. Working basically as much as a normal person, like a full-time job, and that's not what I originally wanted, but it's not Disney's fault. It's me picking up extra shifts because I just working in some of these other parks like Hollywood Studios, I'm just a sucker for it. So I put myself in a situation where today is actually my Friday. It was technically yesterday on actual Friday, but I had some other shifts that I picked up this week, and I am working Hollywood Studios tonight. And those are always really fun shifts. Plus, I've been working them so much, I've got that operation kind of down, so. So something I wanted to talk about today is, it's really been on my mind, is working an entry-level job. Especially being older. I'm 49, I'm going to be 50 soon. And I work with, I don't want to say many, but I do work with some other people that are doing the exact same job as me, that came out of training at the same time as me, that are in the same age group, if not a little bit older. And many of them, they're trying to work as many hours as they can get because they need the money. And money makes the world go around. Money makes it so you can survive, so you can eat, put food on the table. And I completely understand that. But man, what I do, QSR, quick service restaurant for Disney, it's no joke. There are easier aspects of the job, like ODV, ODF, outdoor vending, and outdoor food. Those are when you're working smaller satellite stations and stuff, and those aren't too bad at all, actually. Those are luxurious to work versus QSR, in my opinion. QSR, I mean, at the end of the night, like last night, I had to clean 4 fryers, and hey, it's part of the job. It's no big deal. I'm not complaining, but then after that, you're helping cleaning the floors. Everyone, it's like a group effort. You have people assigned to do this and do that, and but man, at the end of the day, like, I was outside for half of my, at least, like, what am I saying? It wasn't half. It was like 3/4. I was doing register, and I had to watch over at one point this condiment area over in one of the water parks. And it's a lot of condiments. It's over by Typhoon Tilly's, where we sell, like, fried chicken strips and a lot of fish options, actually. Seafood, I should say. There's fried fish, fried clams, fried shrimp, stuff like that. And you got to keep these big water jugs refilled, and you actually have to, bring these jugs back and fill them up with water and bring them. It's supposed to be a two-person team to lift these big jugs, and I just do it because when it's really busy, it's hard to find someone to help you. So anyway, point of the story is, a couple days ago I had a kind of a rough day, and from the standpoint that I couldn't get help, and it was a new location for me, and I know that we needed certain things, and I could not get anyone to help. It was right at the beginning of the day, and there's a few people there that they've been working there for I don't know how long, but they're too busy talking with each other, and I interrupt, and it's like, hey, sorry to interrupt, but we're getting paid. Can you please help me find this? And then they just kind of point, and then go back to talking, and it's like, this is BS. It's not professional at all. People that act like that, and I finally got to a point where I just basically hollered out that I was the only one that gave a crap, but I didn't use the word crap. And that actually made me some friends. So, and I've noticed like the newer cast members are, honestly, from what I've seen, we are, because I'm a newer cast member, we are the hardest workers. And I have actually had some supervisors talk to me and say how frustrating it is with some of the older staff, because they start to get lazy. They feel like their job is completely secure, and they feel like they can't do any wrong. So I've definitely seen that. I have like the utmost respect for a lot of the newbies, because it's so stressful. It's so daunting. You don't know where everything is. You don't know anybody. But the beautiful thing about that is how it brings people together. I've already had 2 people ask for my phone number. Just a couple of different guys literally just say, what's your number? And it's like, it's really cool, because like these guys are probably realistically 25 years younger than me, and it feels good, because I don't ever want to act like an old fuddy-duddy. I mean I'm only 49. It's not like I'm an old man or anything, but I try to, I still have the same mentality, I really do, of probably when I was in my 20s, or at least 30s, but just a little more wisdom from living life. You learn how things work. But at one point a couple days ago, I was really thinking to myself, like, how am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Why am I putting myself through these really stressful situations and very physical situation for an entry-level job? Granted, it does pay 35% more than minimum wage here in Florida, so that's a good thing. But I was making good money back in Colorado. Even after I sold my restaurant, when I was just getting paid to help at my old restaurant from one of my best friends in the world, Vanya, to help run the restaurant, the one that I sold my restaurant to. I stayed on for 5 years, and he had 5 years to pay me off. But anyway, did a lot of soul searching, and you're in those situations where you're just maybe you're just kind of doing some grunt work, and the mind starts, the wheels start turning, in your mind, and you just start thinking about life decisions and all of that, and why are you here? And I remember in training they said there's going to be some tough days, and there are some tough days there, and that was one of those days. When I kind of snapped, it was also over the same type of situation. It was this the straw that broke the camel's back was this guy. I asked for some extra help because my side of the counter area I was getting overwhelmed with orders. I need to get orders to people basically, and there's a line of people. It was mobile orders, and I got this one order and it had 3 drinks, and I had to make the drinks. I'm not talking about like a Coke. I'm talking about a cocktail, and these take a bit of time to make. They all get garnished and all that, and meanwhile, over at the other side of this counter area, there's people just standing around talking. So I just holler down, hey, can someone help me out? Because I don't mind doing the work, but I'm looking out for the guest. The guest is having to wait, and they don't need to be waiting if we have the help. And someone came down, helped, but he didn't communicate with me what he was doing and what the guest was still waiting on. And long story short, he made a nasty comment because he didn't communicate, and that did not go over well with me. And quite honestly, I ripped him a new one, and he ended up leaving, probably to go back to talk to his supervisor. That was earlier in the day. Nothing happened to me. No one talked to me, so I don't know. I worked all day yesterday, which was the day after that happened, and nothing happened, so I think I'm in the clear. No one talked to me, but I let him know how unacceptable I thought his behavior was, the way that he talked to me. And you start thinking like, man, I've opened 4 restaurants, I've done this, I've done that, and like I said before, Disney, it will humble you, because like if you want to be there, you got to go through some crap. And it was just like, it just made me think like maybe I should look elsewhere for employment. And like when I was talking earlier, some of the other people that I work with, and they're constantly trying to pick up more shifts and whatnot because they need the money, and I'm not one of those people. I don't need the money. In fact, the amount of hours that I'm working right now, and it's not 40 hours. The most I've worked, the last couple weeks that I've worked, it's been more than normal part-time, which is like 3 shifts. I picked up 5 shifts this week, but 2 of those shifts are only 4-hour shifts over at Hollywood Studios. And when I get my paycheck, it's like, it's literally double what I need to survive. So that's a cool thing. It's like basically one of 4 income streams that I have. So I'm in a good position from that standpoint, and that makes you kind of feel like I don't need to put up with this crap. I mean, if you're desperate for the money, you'll put up with a lot of stuff, but I'm not in that position, and it just really made me think about everything. But fast forward 24 hours, which was yesterday, and I had a much better day. Much better day. Like I said, I worked outside for over half the day, and that was awesome, but man, does it drain you. This Florida heat, it's like, it's a physical job, but just being in the heat, it just drains you. I mean, if you're in this state or any of these other hot states, and you see people on the side of the road maybe doing construction or landscaping for the city or something like that, man, my hat's off to you, because it's really no joke. But whole point of that was, I've had a couple days of looking at some of this wildlife, the wildlife, these birds. There's a bird, he's got some bug in his mouth. Anyway, sorry, I get distracted by wildlife. The camaraderie that comes with all of this, being in the crud, if you will, with other people. It just, there's like a I don't know, it's almost like a sick addiction that you get of like working in miserable situations. But as long as you're with other people going through it with you, like it makes it okay and somewhat enjoyable, if that makes sense. As long as there's excuse me, itch. As long as there's a coming togetherness with people afterwards or whatnot. It's like Friday, Saturday nights at my old restaurant. I mean, we're just going through hell. I mean, it was really tough position, but afterwards, making food for everyone, pouring beers for everyone. Obviously that were of age and that wanted a beer, but and then everyone's smiling and laughing and joking and talking while we're working, trying to get everything finished for the end of the night, cleaning up and all that. And those were some of the best memories I ever had working. And it's the same type of situation, like when I'm leaving the parks, and you're getting off at the same time with certain people and walking to your car with other people and just talking about the day, what was good, what was bad, talking about life. And I don't think I could do it without the other people, like, quite honestly. And the different walks of life that I've met. I mean, the vast majority of everyone that works in QSR, that are working in kitchen and whatnot, and or the counter service, they're not from America, and it's so cool to like find common ground with people that you barely speak the same language with. That's always really cool, like in the break room, this woman that I worked with for literally just one shift, Marcia. I can't remember where she's from. It's like Venezuela, or I mean, so many people are from Puerto Rico and Brazil. But I was sitting in the break room on break just yesterday, and someone walked behind me and put their hand on my shoulder, and it was this woman, Marcia. And I look up, and she just gave me a smile, and it was cool. You just get that connection with people. And at the end of the day, this, you guys, me, the connection between people, it's, at least for me, it's the most important thing in the world. I so many times I want to be in a world where it's like there's no people, because you just get burned out on the ugliness of people, the loudness of people, yada yada. But man, it'd be like solitary confinement, like, for the most part. After a while, it would get pretty, it might be nice and quiet for a while, but after a while it would just be like, I need people, I need to be around some people. But yeah, I'm not gonna keep, sorry, my nose just really itches. Helicopters constantly, it's those like sightseeing tour helicopters over here in the Orlando area. But yeah, just trying to figure it all out day by day, just trying to figure all of this out day by day, because everything changes day by day. And I talk all the time with cast members about, there's people coming into the park, or different parks, I should say, leaving different parks, as far as getting stationed somewhere. And you talk to so many people, like, regarding these birds, sorry, it's like he's putting on a show for me. Never mind, he just went into that bush. Sorry about that. What was I saying? And then he pops back out. Did you hear him? Yeah, like, as much as I want to head over to Hollywood Studios, like, as far as being my home park, I'm starting to really click with some people at the water parks, and it's not as magical being in those parks. I will say Typhoon Lagoon is really awesome, but keep in mind, like, if you're working a shift there, you might not ever see the outside. You might not ever see the park. I mean, if you're back in a kitchen, on an 8-hour shift, you're not seeing the beauty and the awesome ambiance of these parks. So, but when you do get to, it's really neat being there. Like when I left and I had to walk across the entire park to get out to parking yesterday, and there's nobody there except for cast members, and it was really cool. I was thinking to myself, God, it'd be so cool if they would just like let everyone go have fun for 30 minutes, go hit all the water areas and all that. Of course, they'd have to have lifeguards and whatnot, but anyway, I was just kind of thinking it'd be so cool. But anyway, yeah, just the point of what I was saying is, the realities of starting a new job, an entry-level job at 49. But I don't really have much of an alternative, because I am not willing with my time. I'm not willing to do a full-time job, and let alone something that's going to pay high. With my skill set, that would be like restaurant management, and there's no way. I mean, your salary, I mean, you're going to be 45 hours minimum a week, and quite honestly, like I say that all the time. Quite honestly, I'm not willing to work that much. I moved out here with Jill, my wife, to slow down and enjoy, and things sure have changed. I remember I had so much time on my hands when I first moved out here, and I was feeling guilty because I wasn't working, I wasn't producing, and now it's like, geez, I kind of miss those days. But unless you have unlimited funds, you got to be careful. So, and I don't have unlimited funds, unfortunately. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking now, and thank you to anyone that listened. And yeah, just wanted to kind of not vent or anything. I'm not like stressed out or anything, but I don't know, just want to talk about that. It's just an interesting perspective of starting over, midlife, and being in an entry level position, and taking it day by day. So anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.